Yeah.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Jeff Lutz.
Like, why can't I be strong? Have you seen this right here, man? Feeling strong right now.
Oh, gasp. I'm so excited.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
They're not sure where that came from, but sure.
Where's your sense of humor, man?
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Don't touch that dial.
Good afternoon and welcome. It is Bob and Jeff on KFH. It is Thursday. It is October 26th. We're 5 days away from Halloween, and I'm going to throw that prompt. I just gave you a prompt. Jason Duda, my co-host today. Bob out at least today, probably tomorrow. So it's most likely we'll see him Monday. But when I say, Duda, that it's 5 days from Halloween, you say what?
I say it doesn't matter because
You're not a big Halloween guy.
Yeah, but my October, the day I've been waiting for is October 27th. So until the 27th is over, I don't care what's happening after that.
October the 27th.
Yep.
You know what I heard today?
What?
It was confirmed, actually.
What?
Tomorrow we have the beginning of the season 2 of Shoresy.
Exactly, Jeff. Exactly. I've known this for over a month.
I think I
My
was
friends
the
in
one who told
Canada.
you.
No, because my friends in Canada get it on Crave, and they've started it in September.
Right.
So they've
they
seen
just
some
had
of
their
these.
season finale.
So their finale's coming up, and they're dropping them all tomorrow.
They're dropping them all tomorrow.
All of them. All
You're
6.
sure about that?
I am
Because I've read
positive.
that maybe it's one by one
Nope.
on Hulu.
Nope. All you got to do is go to Hulu and look. It says drops on the 27th, all 6.
Okay. But did you
So
know?
if you think I'm coming in to do radio when Shoresy's, the new season of Shoresy's on, might not get here on time.
well,
Just letting you know
you
early.
better not say a word
About what?
about season 2 of Shoresy, because I won't be able to watch it till tomorrow night.
Ooh.
You'll probably come in here
Ooh.
having already watched it.
Well, because I've already got the day planned. Like,
Well,
this has been planned for a month.
Are you just going to turn it on at 11 or what? I assume
No, I'm going to go to
midnight Eastern.
I'm
or-
going to go to work because I got to get up anyway to go to work. So I'm going to go to work. I'm going to pick up a coffee probably on my way home. Going to get home, have a shower, get the recliner set up. The kids are going to be gone. Wife should be gone.
That
I'm going to
helps.
kick the dogs outside so I don't have to hear them.
Of course.
And I'm going to hit play.
And you're going to experience those episodes, what, about half an hour?
20, 25 minutes, I think.
So you're in for 2.5 hours
Easy.
of straight Shoresy. And then it'll just be over.
No.
Right?
Then you watch it again to pick up some of the things you missed.
I understand you're going to watch it again.
Oh,
but,
yes, I will.
But you're going to know what happened.
Yes, 100%.
It will not be new to you.
Oh, it'll still be new.
So by this time tomorrow, your experience with season 2 of Shoresy will be more or less complete.
Oh, it'll be fantastic.
But
Can't wait.
But
what?
season 3 has already been confirmed.
Has it for
They've
sure?
already announced that season 3 will be coming.
And away we go. I can't wait.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Crave confirms its hit original comedy series is returning for a 3rd season. And that was confirmed yesterday. That article came out yesterday on bellmedia.ca. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Bell Media?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, Bell is basically like
Everything.
T-Mobile.
Right. Bell
Phones
is everything
and
in,
Bell.
in
Yeah,
Canada.
Bell's your, what do you call it? Technology, blah, blah,
Your
blah.
your
Phone and communication
conglomerate.
stuff. Yeah, it's one of those. So if Bell says it's in, it's in.
How about
So it must have been pretty decent because a lot of people must have liked it.
well, everyone should like it.
Well, I mean, if not, just come stand outside and we'll all punch you in the face.
It's
Because if you don't like it, then you shouldn't watch it.
no,
does that
you
make
should
sense?
watch it. And then learn to like it.
Except
learn to love it. in
But
fact.
unless you don't like swearing, then I can understand. That's
But
the
who
only
doesn't?
thing.
Who gets really offended by words? I mean, certain words, yes. Slurs and sexist comments, anything that is personal.
True.
But curse words?
Yeah, but there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Love it.
But there aren't the bad ones.
Why can't it just be Friday already? Like, it's not fair. It's not fair.
It almost is. This show's coming out in less than 11 hours or 9 hours at 11 p.m.
I might try to stay up for it.
You might have to. You might need to go get a nap after
because it'd
the
be
show.
11 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
If it's midnight Eastern, just get one in.
Ooh, that's
Watch
tough.
the football game.
You're gonna watch that game?
Yeah, I got guys on both sides.
Yeah, but who cares?
I do.
It's the Bucks and the Bills.
I do. I care.
Who do you have, and why does it matter?
I got Diggs.
Not in
and
our
then-
league.
No, I'm not talking about our league. I'm talking about
You don't care about our league.
the good Canadian league.
Can I be in the good Canadian league at some
you
point?
can't. I don't think they let you in.
Because I watch Shoresy, I'm kind of an honorary
well, I
Canadian.
can throw that out there. If
I like Joey Votto.
We
I've
got
had Canadian bacon.
we got so many guys on the waiting list, though.
Really?
Yes,
Is that true?
that's true.
How do you get into the league? Someone dies?
Well, it's bad you said that because my best buddy died here this last summer. So,
Well,
but
I don't want to say
his
that.
brother and him had the team, so his brother still has the team.
Okay, but
So
what
that's
I'm
not-
saying is it's a lifetime appointment. You're not going to kick anyone out of the
We've
league.
only had. I've been in this league with those guys since '96, and we've had 4 guys drop out since '96. There's 8 of us that have been there the whole time.
That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive when you think about it. That's
It
crazy.
is.
So it's tough to get into. That's why it's, if you ever go up to Sexsmith or Grand Prairie, Alberta, and you talk about Smiley's Fantasy League, people are going to know.
They will. That's
And they'll be
probably
like,
the biggest thing in Sexsmith,
Oh, I've been trying to
Alberta.
get in that for 2 decades. Yeah, you're not getting in.
Well, can you put me on the waiting list?
I'll put you on the waiting list.
I appreciate that.
I'll have to use a favor just to get you on the list.
Really?
Oh, guaranteed.
Do I need
Absolutely.
to maybe throw in a few bucks
Oh,
to get higher up on the waiting
if
list?
you get in the league, you'll have to throw in a few bucks.
Really?
This isn't free.
I know it's not a free league, but do I need to throw in a few bucks to influence my standing on the waiting list?
Okay, you got to understand. You're talking to a bunch of Canadians that like to drink. So how much is a few bucks to you?
100.
That's not even close to it.
Really?
No.
How much is
That's basically going to buy 1 round for the 12 guys.
how much is the league entry fee?
I probably shouldn't say that on the air.
Say it anyway.
No, I can't.
Really?
No.
Why? Who would care?
Some people.
Okay. I guess we won't go there then.
No, probably not.
I like the juicy stuff, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know you're trying to get it out of me, but it's just not going to happen.
will you tell me off the air? And then I'll relay it on the air so
yeah,
it's
that's
not you
the
that's
problem.
saying
If I tell you something, then usually I'll end up on the air.
Not necessarily.
99% of the time, that's what happens.
I think we have a trusted confidence that
In an oddly weird way, maybe. But I don't know if I could. I don't know.
okay, well,
Maybe.
you can make that decision.
We'll talk about it.
on your own.
We'll talk about it off the air, and then we'll see how that unravels.
I believe Bob is listening, and I asked my co-host yesterday, Mike Furchess, if he had a message for Bob. So I don't know if he'll be calling in for picks today. I don't know when the 3 of us are going to reconvene and get back together for the 3-man booth. So what would you like to say to Bob right now if he was here in the room?
Try to get here for tomorrow so I can have the day off to watch Shoresy. Hope you're well.
I don't think he's going to be here, but we get to talk to Paul White tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be fun.
The big show. He's going to be in studio.
I know. Wonder if he's ever had skates on. Could make him a defenseman.
Perhaps.
Be a good one.
He's kind of old. You think at 53 he's still with 2 replaced hips and probably
he still got it.
he can still do it?
He's going to have a stick in his hand, too.
Why don't you just put him at goalie?
No, you got to be able to move pretty quick back there. If you're a defenseman with as big as he is, that wingspan, he'll be all right back there.
All right.
And then as long as he gets a hold of somebody, where are they going to go? Nowhere.
Why don't NHL teams just put humongous people in goal?
They do, yeah. What?
You know what I'm saying? Humongous people.
Oh, you mean like sumo wrestlers?
Like wide.
Like sumo
Not
wrestlers?
tall, wide, yeah.
So sumo wrestlers.
No, I'm not saying that.
Because they can't move.
But if they
wouldn't be able
cover
to
the whole
move.
net, why does it matter?
Because those guys are too good. They don't need a big area. They don't need half the net to shoot at. They need like half a shoebox.
Okay.
And you're going to find that
I
even
mean,
with
I
a
feel
sumo
like
guy
I
in
just
there.
stumbled upon Moneyball for hockey. Like that's
Maybe run it out to like a team in Arizona that could use something that's weird to bring fans in. Maybe you should.
Does the SPHL
do
still
something.
exist? or one of those leagues?
I don't know if the SPHL still exists. That's a good question.
Is that even a thing? I think I blacked out. I have no idea what the SPHL even is.
Yeah, it was like the single A league when I was even playing and coaching.
Yeah, so it has to.
So
Did
I
Matt
think it's
Summers
probably
play
still there. Sums went down there for a little while and coached. Or did he coach or just play? I think he might have coached too. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a thing. So you're right.
Okay.
Sumsy.
So they could maybe try it and see how it works.
Yeah.
It'd be like when you do automatic balls and strikes in like single A baseball. Let's try sumo wrestlers in goal in single A hockey.
Well, just got to get one team to do it.
Exactly. And see how it works.
Why wouldn't you?
Because those guys need more than a shoebox at that level to shoot at. They're not the marksmen that some of the guys in the NHL are.
No. But it would be interesting to see. I'm with you.
Thank you.
I'd
Maybe
like to
that
see
could
it.
be season 3 of Shoresy.
Maybe it is the season 3 of
It might be.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, it's good. I already can't wait for season 3 now. Maybe they should order 10 episodes.
It'd be nice if they were longer than 6.
Yeah, that's too quick.
But it's obviously good marketing because look at us. We want season 3.
I know, but I want season 3 if it was 40 episodes.
Well, so would I. We'll see. I don't know what they're going to do.
It's going to take 7 seasons to get to 40 episodes.
Well, that's what they did with Letterkenny. Letterkenny only had 6 or 7, and that's Jared Kesso, who is Shoresy, who was the main guy in
But they had like
Letterkenny.
13 or 14 seasons.
Yeah.
And in 15 years, Jared Kesso is going to be like 60, and he's not going to be a hockey player anymore.
Yeah, but you know who he's going to be. Max should know the answer to this. If he's 60, who's he going to be? Who's it going to remind you of if he's coaching and playing? Do you know the movie I'm talking about?
Yes, Slapshot.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
who's he going to be?
yeah. He's going to
Reg Dunlop.
Reg Dunlop, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know. Like, watch the movie.
I
You
know.
made a bet.
I just said the guy's name.
You made a bet like a year and a half ago, and you
Was
still
it-
haven't watched.
It wasn't that long ago.
You still
It was
haven't
when
watched
It was when you watched Shoresy, which, by the way, you're welcome. Changed your life forever. Would you have ever even heard of that show if it weren't for me?
Yeah.
You hadn't heard of Letterkenny.
No, I'd heard of Letterkenny. I just hadn't watched it.
I
I heard of Shoresy, I'd have heard of Shoresy because I got Hulu. It'd have popped up, and
But
I'd
it's not
seen a
like
hockey
that's-
guy there, and I'd been like, oh, what's this?
But it's not like it was the first and foremost thing on Hulu
No.
that they were promoting. You had to search for it. And you'll probably have to search for it again.
No, you won't. Not mine.
I don't like Hulu because you'll watch like the last episode, like the most recent episode of a show that's currently on. And then once that ends, you can't do the continue watching anymore, right? You have to go back and find it again and then say, watch the latest episode. I don't like that.
Not mine.
Really?
Comes across the bottom and says, watch next episode. You hit click, and it goes right to the next episode. I
No.
did it today with the show I'm
But I'm
watching.
saying when there's not a next episode at the time, you've watched the last one, like Shark Tank, for example. So I've watched this Saturday I'll watch the Friday one, right?
Uh-huh.
And that'll be the last episode.
Right.
And then once the next Friday one comes out, it won't say watch the next episode. I'll have to go and find it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but odd.
It is weird.
That is odd.
Let's set up the show today
All right.
because we got a big one.
I want to hear it.
At 2:25, Sir Anthony Capra.
Yes. You knew he had to come back. It's been a while.
It has been a long time.
I'm excited. I saw
And-
Cap the other day.
You did?
I did.
How'd
we
that
looked at each
happen?
other like, man, we hadn't seen each other forever. I know that guy. He's like, I know that guy.
Where did you see him?
At Costco.
It's beautiful.
It was something.
Quite a moment.
Oh, it was, it's, I can't tell you.
Bob has officially abandoned the Raiders.
That's why we got Cap on.
He says, Bob, that is, that he's going to the Chiefs, which is so Bob. Has anything been more
So
Bob?
So Bob.
So Bob.
That is so Bob.
He was stunned that I had his football history still in the button bar.
I think you missed half of it. He's gone around to way more teams than,
Kansas City. Like, what is that?
I don't know.
Hey, good for him. He likes them and whatever. That's fine. I don't got a problem with it.
At 2:45, Tyler O'Connor. Who's that, you ask? He's the first-year football coach at Mound Ridge High School. Mound Ridge, he got them to 8-0 in his first year with the club. They play tonight in the 8-man Division I playoffs. I believe they play Cedarvale Dexter. It might be Attica Argonia, one of those two schools.
Okay.
And we're going to talk to him.
Sounds good.
You excited?
I am.
8-man football. Remember when we talked six-man football?
We didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, and they still have 6-man. They still have 8-man. They have 2 divisions of 8-man and 1 of 6-man. Isn't that crazy?
Nuts and bolts. Happy days.
It's a lot of divisions.
That is. Well, we'll catch up with them, see what's going on.
At 3:25, we'll make our picks.
Ooh, I should probably look at those.
Well, I don't even need to look at them. I think I've run away with the...
Oh, you're running away with it now?
Am I in first? I mean, what's the deal, Max?
I haven't added up all the points, but I have all the.
Why, because you had one good week?
I was 7-1.
We're 7
So?
and 1, almost a perfect week.
Yeah. Which one did he miss? Is 8?
Detroit. We all missed Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit and Baltimore. I knew I should have taken Baltimore.
So did I.
When a team is favored that you don't think should be favored,
There's
you
a
should
reason
pick,
why.
You should pick that team.
Detroit outside, on grass, on the road, against Baltimore. It's kind of lined up to should have took Baltimore.
And that's why I took Cincinnati over, or Philadelphia over Miami.
Yeah, so did I.
That was kind of one that, okay, well, I'm gonna trust
Miami
this
hadn't
one.
beat anybody yet, really. Miami
No.
hadn't played a solid team.
Miami
And on the road, nah.
I have a crazy prediction about Miami.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Their coach will be fired during next season. They'll give him they'll finish slow, kind of like they did last year, and then they'll kind of start a little slow next year, and he'll be out. Mike McDaniel or whatever his name is.
Really?
That's my crazy Miami prediction.
Well, I don't know about that. But that's crazy. If it's a crazy prediction, I got to let it slide.
It's a hot take.
So your hot take is the Miami coach is going to get canned halfway through next year.
That's my hot take.
Can't see it.
Can't wait.
You don't
Can't
like
see
him?
it, can't
No.
wait.
Can't stand that little limp.
Everyone loves Mike McDaniel. He's like personality guy and interesting and funny.
But you're saying that don't matter.
I am.
Fair enough.
The only thing that matters
I disagree
is
with
winning.
you. I disagree.
And once Buffalo wins the division again, and then Buffalo and the Jets next year because Aaron Rodgers will be back and they'll be a little bit better. He's better than Zach Wilson. Let's just call it like it is.
He's 40 with a blown out Achilles.
He's already walking around on
Yeah,
it.
sure he is. He won't be back till no. Don't see it.
That's when he gets fired. That's just my prediction.
Fair enough.
We'll talk today some baseball. The World Series is coming up on Friday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And
Um,
last time I was in here, you guys had picked the 2 teams that are not in the World Series.
No, I picked Texas.
You both were like, Philly, this is it. This is a gift. This is that.
I didn't say this
done.
is a gift.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
said
both-
I expect.
You guys
Arizo-
both basically
Philadelphia
said
to win at home.
Arizona didn't have a chance.
No, I didn't say that at all. I
I've-
actually said they
Without
do have
using
a chance.
those words, that's what you and
But
your dad
the
said.
words that I used is Arizona has a chance. That's the word I used.
Well, of course, they always have a chance.
That's what I said.
If you're playing the game, you have a chance.
That's what I said. So what's wrong?
I just disagree with you.
And I picked Philadelphia to win. Seemed like a pretty safe bet at the time. They had 2 games at home coming up. Lost them both. And
Not
bunted.
good. Not good.
And they bunted in Game 7. That's why they lost.
Oh, you're not allowed to do
Bad
that in
karma.
baseball anymore.
Bad karma.
That's right. Heaven forbid you should bunt.
Jeff hates the bunt, as
Oh,
we
yeah.
know.
I hate the bunt. I hate any bunt.
Bunt for a single.
Bunt for a hit is okay. But sacrifice bunt, stupid. Only one situation am I even going to entertain the thought of a sacrifice bunt. Tie game, World Series, Game 7, bottom of the 9th, runners at first and second. That's it. Oh, no other time.
What about the squeeze bunt? What if there's
No, hit the ball
one
in the
out,
air and
one
drive
out
it.
guy on third?
Hit the ball in the air and drive in a run.
Disagree. Squeeze
Do your
bunt.
job.
Won't even see it.
What
But
if they do?
laying down the good bunt is doing your job.
No, doing your job is driving in the run.
That would be driving in the run, Jeff.
In a way, but not really.
What are you talking
that'd
about?
be relying on the guy at third, the pitch, my
Oh, so
reflexes.
don't rely on your teammate. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Oh,
You drive in the run.
Mike, it's just unbelievable.
It's my
Some of the
job-
things you say are absolutely asinine.
It's my job to hit the ball in the air and drive in this run and win the World Series. I'm going to do it.
Why not have a little help from your buddy? Make it a little easier.
I don't need help from my buddy.
All you literally have to do is put the ball on the ground. And your buddy does the
no
rest.
outs either in my situation. First and second, no outs, game 7, tie game.
Isn't the art of bunting lost?
Oh, it's
The
gone.
the art of bunting was never an art. It was dumb.
Only if it's a no-hitter. They shouldn't be allowed to bunt.
Bunting is only bunting for a hit is okay. We'll talk to Cap maybe about this.
Yeah, he's
if
the guy
it
to
comes
ask.
up. I bet he
Oh,
loves.
it'll come up.
I bet he loves bunting.
As a pitcher, running to get that thing, yeah, no, he doesn't like it.
We will talk to Cap on the other side of this break about the World Series, about the NFL. We have a lot of topics. We have a lot to discuss with Cap. It has been a while, as Duda mentioned. So please stay with us. Max Power will take us to break. Jason Duda is here. It's Bob and Jeff on KFH.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I'll send you to burn.
The crazy world of Arthur Brown, not the former Wichita East and Kansas State linebacker Arthur Brown, but whoever this guy is.
That
Arthur
guy.
Brown.
Sure.
That song is called Fire. I don't know if you could tell by him saying fire over and over, but that was the title.
Honestly, I wasn't paying attention.
Let's go to the IHOP hotline, brought to you, Jason, by IHOP, where guests can enjoy a new waffle combo. That's the choice of Belgian strawberry cheesecake or Oreo cookie crumble waffle, 2 eggs your way, 2 bacon strips, or pork sausage links and hash browns. 2 eggs your way, Anthony Capra. What are you going with?
The whole right side of the menu. I love IHOP. I've made many trips to IHOP in the wee hours of the night or the morning.
So all the eggs, all the ways. That works for me. Anthony,
I want about 6 or 7 eggs, hash browns, and about as many pancakes as you can put on a plate. I'll take them all.
and obviously an Oreo cookie crumble waffle.
Well, of course, that's a given. That's that was kind of assumed, I thought.
Yeah.
When they ask you, when Cap's talking about when he's going to IHOP, and I understand this, and they're saying, well, you got 2 eggs, how do you want them? And you can't decide, you just say, bring me 2 of each.
Yeah, it's
and away you
automatic.
go.
I mean,
Yeah.
Why? You don't have to think that hard.
No, why hurt yourself, right, Cap?
No, there's no point to do that.
Anthony Capra, our guest, former Wichita State Shocker, former professional baseball player and coach, and Raiders fan. Before we talk about Bob's decision, I don't know if you heard it earlier this week about the Raiders. Let's talk about your relationship with the Raiders. You have the floor.
Expectations were low going into this season, but somehow, some way, the Raiders have managed to far exceed my expectations in a negative manner. I am so over them right now. I'm dumbfounded that Josh McDaniels still has a job. He might be, in my opinion, the worst Raiders coach of all time. Lane Kiffin is in that category. But man, Josh McDaniels has just done a world record job of running an organization into the ground in about as quick as you can. Took a playoff team from 2 years ago and just has entirely done a 180 on them. It's atrocious. It's painful to watch, and as usual, we're the brunt end of all the jokes.
But yet you're still 3-4.
Yeah, but
It's
that
the
means
worst.
nothing.
I'm with you, Cap. It's the worst 3-4 team I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just the 3-4. It's when you look at the losses and you look at the losses that this team has had under Josh McDaniels, and you can go back to last season when the Colts had to bring in Jeff Saturday, who was coaching high school football, and you lose. And then the Bears lose their starting quarterback, and they're starting a former D2 quarterback who I think they said like his last game he threw like 4 or 5 interceptions in D2, and you lose. The way they lose games and the way they find ways to lose games is it's a joke, and you become the laughing stock of the NFL, and it's easy to poke fun at the Raiders and the Raiders fans. But what argument do we have against it? You just have to wear it.
Well, you better fill them in on what we talked about on Monday then.
Anthony Capra, our guest, resident Raiders fan. Bob said he has washed his hands of the Las Vegas Raiders. He has aligned himself. I hope you're seated with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Thoughts. We just need thoughts.
Come on, really?
Well, that's about as sacrilegious as it gets, and I hope that he has taken the time to think through his actions and what that means, because he will never be welcomed back. You can never come back from a statement like that. You're done. We're done with you. It was only a matter of time. I never really thought that Bob was that bought in with the Raiders, but man, that's about as bad as it gets right there.
He gave them 6 very lukewarm years.
They were as lukewarm as you can get, and to make the jump to the Chiefs, I mean, unless you're just playing total the local backyard card, that's sacrilege. You can't do that.
It's awful.
In medieval times, I think he'd be drawn and quartered for that.
And he might be this. I mean, I wouldn't oppose it now either. So whatever you want to do.
You let him know the next time I run into him, we're going to have some words about this.
I'm looking forward to that. I hope I get a full recap.
He couldn't even jump to a team out of the division. Like at least go somewhere out of the division.
Go with the Lions or something. Go with something that's like kind of cool and niche a little bit. Don't go with the Chiefs.
Well, he said they're so much fun to watch.
He loves the Taylor Swift element. He loves Reed.
Awful.
He loves Mahomes. I think he loves Pat Mahomes, the pitcher. I think it's just all Chiefs. I don't know why my father has decided to bathe in it, but he has.
We've just officially mailed it in. I mean, hey Bob, we'll see you, buddy.
Thank God. I hope our friends Shannon Great and Raider Nate, I hope they feel the exact same way. But I do want to ask you about the quarterback situation with the Raiders. You've obviously got Jimmy G. Doesn't look like you're going to get a high enough pick to get Caleb Williams or maybe even Drake May. Aiden O'Connell's back there as a rookie. They went with Brian Hoyer this past week. I mean, you talk about a mess.
It goes beyond being a mess. It's a dumpster fire. And, yeah, I would say it's unlikely they'll be in a position to draft Caleb Williams. And this is me putting my Utopia Raiders GM hat on, I would package whatever first-round pick you get and whatever first-round pick you want next year, 2 firsts and Davante Adams for the number 1 overall pick, and I'm still taking Caleb Williams. And that's my dream. That's my utopia. Because to me, what do you have to lose? Are you going to set the organization back 5 years? Who cares? Where is this organization right now? They're in no position to compete for a wild card spot. So we're not setting anything back by blowing it up and trying with allegedly the greatest prospect since Andrew Luck or before.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yeah, I can't blame you. I mean, but how many teams are going to do that? I think it'll get to the point where it's probably absolutely ridiculous, the trade for whoever ends up getting that.
What if
first
it's the
pick.
Bears and they have pick 1 and pick 2 or 3, and now you get Davante Adams, a weapon, and if you want a quarterback, you can still do it. I would do that if I'm the Chicago Bears, and I get 2 other first-round picks. It's brilliant.
I would think that would make sense because you could then hypothetically draft, if it's not Caleb Williams and May is the prospect that people are saying he is, you can draft Marvin Harrison Jr. too with Davante Adams, and you've got a 1 and a 1A receiver right off the bat for a rookie quarterback. You've set the foundation and the future for your team.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do. No question about it. But
I don't think they'll do it.
We are all in agreement the Raiders are a mess.
No doubt.
Stink.
Cap, what do you think about the World Series, Arizona and Texas? Maybe not what we had in mind as the season began several months back, but these teams have been pretty fun to watch, especially Texas.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take the probably the contrarian take from what I would normally say, because in a matchup like this with Texas and Arizona, the normal me would say I hate it. I love it. I think it's great that it's two kind of under the radar-ish teams, two teams that I don't want to say they backdoored their way into the playoffs, but, in the old format, I think the Diamondbacks would not have been in. And
Correct.
for me, as just a baseball fan, I don't have a rooting interest in this. I don't care who wins. It's kind of nice for me because I have so many teams I dislike and so many players I dislike that I'm like, man, I could just watch it and the outcome is the outcome. I'll probably kind of pull for the Rangers because I've got a little bit of allegiance there from when they had Will Clark, who was my hero growing up, but doesn't matter to me.
Do you think, obviously Arizona had lost over 100 games 2 years ago. Now they're in the playoffs.
So did Texas.
And Texas. So has things switched in baseball now? Because if you'd lost 100 games 2 years ago, there's no way you'd have been making the playoffs 20 years ago. Have things just switched that much that it doesn't matter? Year to year now in baseball has got to the point where it's almost like football. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think things now in today's game or today's system, whatever you want to call it, you have the ability to change things and turn things around pretty quickly. I think the Rangers, I think it was 2 years ago, I remember looking at their spring training roster and just thinking, man, they must love their prospects because it was like a AAA team, and they did a nice job. They built through their own system, and kind of the same with the Diamondbacks. I mean, these aren't the Rangers are maybe not a small market team. The Rangers aren't afraid to spend money historically, but both of these teams are pretty in-house built, and it's cool to see how they have turned things around within a couple of years. And you're right, it's not something that you would normally see or in years past, a team that loses 100 games. I always think of, when I was growing up, how historically bad the Pittsburgh Pirates were. They were always cellar dwellers. You could just expect it every year. And now from year to year, any team that loses 100 games is not out of the question to come back and do something special the next year.
Except the Pirates and maybe the Royals.
Yeah, maybe.
We had this debate, my dad and I, a few days ago. He said, whoever wins the World Series, that's the best team. I say whoever wins the World Series is playing the best at the end because it's more arbitrary than ever because you let 12 teams in. So does that mean, when it was a 4-team playoff that the 5th team could have been the best team? How do we know the 13th team isn't the best team in a format like this? So where do you come out on something like that?
Unfortunately, I'm going to say I'm a little bit of a fence rider on that because I am of the mindset that obviously you have to be playing great baseball or great, whatever sport you're playing at the end of the season. And teams that get hot, I mean, you see it every year in March Madness. But in baseball, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that either one of these teams, to be totally honest, are the best team in baseball. I think that still lays with the Braves, who just played a really bad series at a really bad time, and they're probably top to bottom still the best team in baseball. But, yeah, you get crowned as the best team for that year, but I don't think anybody with that kind of logical mind. I mean, let's think of who we're talking about here. We're talking about Bob, the former Raiders fan, now Chiefs fan, who obviously knows nothing about sports. He's just saying that you're the best team because you win it. So, I'm still mad at Bob. We'll see you, Bob.
I agree.
Cap, I've been thinking about this for a while now, and San Diego goes out and spends about $1 billion on players and does nothing. Is this going to maybe reset the market a little bit on how much these guys are going to end up making and signing these big deals when you can see teams like Arizona and Texas just going through their minor league system and bringing guys up and doing it that way? Is that going to change at all, or do you think they're still going to be throwing these $300 million contracts around?
No, I think the money is still going to be thrown around, and as time goes on, the money is going to continue to grow just because that's the nature of the beast. But what it should do, and what it's unlikely to do, is just remind these general managers and these team presidents, the brass of these organizations, that you can't just go throw your wallet at a problem and build a team of money and expect to win. I mean, there still has to be team chemistry, and there still has to be depth top to bottom, and there has to be pieces in place that support each other. I mean, the Padres are a great example of that. I mean, they spent so much money in the last few years, and they put together on paper a great team, but they just can't get it done. And what the specific reason is, I don't know, but there's something to be said for building a team and from within and guys that go through the minor leagues together. It's not probably the most common thing, obviously, but there's something to be said for that. And I don't think it's going to change because there's still executives who think you can throw money at every problem and fix it, but it just doesn't work. You can semi quote unquote buy a championship, but all the things have to click together. It's still a chemistry problem and a locker room problem, et cetera.
Cap, as I tell you often, you're the best. We appreciate it. Thanks for kicking Bob off the Raiders. I don't know if you'd call it a bandwagon, but he's not on the train anymore, and he never will be again.
We're not throwing him a lifesaver either. He gone.
Thanks, Cap.
All right, guys.
See you, Cap.
Love it. I hope Bob heard that.
Oh, I bet he did.
I want his response so bad.
Oh, he's not going to respond.
I don't know if he's calling in for picks.
All I know is I'm definitely going to have to do the show tomorrow because he's not coming in after that.
No, he just got murdered.
He needs the weekend for that to blow over.
Or
maybe
just
go
recover.
away. He does. Sorry, Bob.
I don't know that it's going away, though.
Well,
he got kicked out by the charter member of the Raiders fandom
in a hurry
in Wichita.
It wasn't even a thought.
No.
I mean, Cap didn't hesitate. He was gone. He was gone.
It's beautiful. Let's go back to the hotline and talk with Tyler O'Connor. He is the first-year head football coach at Mound Ridge High School. Mound Ridge 8-0, going into the Class 8-man 1 playoffs tonight against Attica Argonia. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing well, too. So this is your first year at Mound Ridge. You obviously inherited a really good team. I know you've coached them up as well. What have you liked about this team and this year?
I'd say it starts with the leadership. You know, there's some pretty good leaders that were in place. They were younger classmen that was ready to step into the role, and I think they did all the right things that they needed to do in the off season to kind of flourish in those spots.
Well, Coach, give us a little background on yourself. Did you play 8-man? Did you play regular football? Give us a little rundown of yourself and how you ended up there. And is this something that you always were looking forward to, or was it just an opportunity that presented itself?
Yeah, so I grew up in western Kansas in Sharon Springs, right on the border there by Colorado. I played for Kevin Ayers in high school playing 8-man football. Who's now at Little River, and my dad's been a longtime coach, basketball coach. He did some football, when I was growing up as well. So it's always kind of been on my radar. I kind of had a good idea that the coaching path and career path is the one that I was going to want. And after my junior year, I guess 2007, we won a state championship, and that really kind of solidified after that what I wanted to do once I graduated. So I went to K-State, graduated from there, and then I spent the last 9 years at Canton-Galva, first as an assistant coach, and then kind of worked into the defensive coordinator role the last 5 years. And then this year is my first year here at Mound Ridge, and my family kind of lives outside in the McPherson area, so we're pretty happy with where we're at. So there's only a few schools there, that commute is realistic. So Mound Ridge is definitely one of them, and been happy with the move so far. So
Tyler O'Connor, our guest, head football coach at Mound Ridge High, who's 8-0 going into the 8-man Division I playoffs tonight at home. So, yeah, I said this, you inherited the good team. They finished 6-4 last year, so obviously you've taken even a bigger step forward and avenged a couple losses that Mound Ridge had last year. So what ways did you kind of try to come in and put your individual stamp on the program?
I think it started defensively. We now run a 3-2 defense, and that's always something I felt comfortable running. And once the kids kind of caught on with how that works and where the fits end up, it was really easy transition for them once they passed those mental blocks. The second thing I think is just learning to trust each other and play hard. I think this group has really bought into the fact that they can trust they can trust the guy next to them to do their job, and as long as they give full effort, a lot of things takes care of itself on the field.
Well, Coach, why don't you give us a little rundown of some of the players you got, some of the seniors, some of the guys that have really stepped up for you this year?
Yep. So seniors, we have Joaquin Huff, who's been a monster for us at nose guard. He's probably one of the most improved on the team as far as just kind of what I was talking about with the effort and learning how to play the game a little bit. But he's been great for us in the middle defensively. Creighton Knitz is our second senior. He's been tremendous all season. He plays some running back and some linebacker for us, and especially at that linebacker position, he's really getting a feel for it and flourishing in that role. And then from the quarterback position, we got Henry Hecox. He plays some linebacker for us as well. He's like having another coach out there on the field. He's really figured out the system and what he's playing in. We got Bear Model Mog at tight end and defensive end. He's just really been a physical presence, and I feel offensively he's always a mismatch. He's a big kid at 6'4", right around the 200-pound mark. So it's just a tough matchup for anybody as far as the passing game goes. And from the defensive standpoint, he's got a counterpart on the other side, Leighton Schmidt. That's about 6'4" as well. So those two have been tremendous. And then secondary and wide receivers, we got Kaiser Knitz, who his ball skills are off the charts. He's really a ball hawk. He's always around the football and making plays offensively. And then some young kids that kind of stepped up. We maybe weren't quite expecting early summer. Was Finn Burge. He was one of them, and Lane Durst. Both of those guys have really been showing out and showing up weekly and working hard, and they're starting to see those results. So,
talking with Mound Ridge football coach Tyler O'Connor. So you've outscored your opponents this year 428-38, and 20 of those points were in one game against Little River, who's actually pretty good, and you beat them by 38. So when you're not being really challenged, do you just inherently take that as, okay, we're ready for the postseason, no one has touched us? Or do you look at certain things, look to improve on certain things, look at certain games within, or certain things within games that let you know that you're improving and getting better and that you are ready for the postseason?
Oh, well, we definitely don't, look at it from the spectrum of we're winning games and we're ready. It's more of we're fine. We're looking at it one play at a time. So when we're breaking down these games that we play, it's unless they're getting every play of every game correct, then there's always something to coach and something to work on, which is the case here. I still feel like there's still some potential that can be brought out of the kids, and that's always going to be the case. So we've definitely found some things to work on each week, and we've always tried to keep a chip on our shoulder and not forget where we were. And hopefully, by every week we put a better product on the field. So kind of the motto around here.
Well, Coach, just curious, do you have any two-way players, guys, that are playing offense and defense, or do you got set defensive players, set offensive players? And then on that respect, with 8-man, how many total do you have on your team?
Yeah, so we have, I believe we're right at the 27 mark. And then we do have some kids that go both ways. So I'd say 5 of them go both ways. Our offensive line is able to come in pretty fresh. They produce, they get in some defensive reps in a game, but for the most part, they're staying pretty fresh for the one side of the ball. But our skilled positions, linebackers, secondary, receivers, quarterbacks, and backs, they're playing both ways.
Okay, so you're going to be favored in most of these games, if not all of these games, even up to the state championship. But in smaller classes, obviously it's the district, and that's how you get into the playoffs, by playing well. So you're playing and will be playing some teams that are used to winning and having good years. How much does that kind of satisfy the competitive itch, knowing that you have to be ready, you have to prepare really well every week to beat these teams?
That's the fun part, is the competitive part of it. Knowing you want to play those good teams and you want the challenge. And the hard part, the easy part, it's been very easy here, is getting those kids ready for those games, to take on those challenges for those matchups, because like you said, there's some really good football teams we're getting ready to play. We played some good football teams, and those games are always fun.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate it. Congratulations on a great first year at Mound Ridge. Got him 8-0. You play tonight at home against Attica and Argonia, and it's a game night, so we appreciate you making time for us.
You bet. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
Yep. Bye.
There you go. That's hour number 1.
It's done?
That's it.
A whole hour with you? That was the quickest hour ever.
It was good. It's going to slow down considerably because Bob might call.
No.
Next hour.
I don't think
during
so.
Picks.
I don't think so.
You don't think he's going to show up?
I don't think he's going to I don't. And I'm kind of shocked I'm saying that.
I haven't heard from him. So
see, I'm telling you.
I think he's kind of laying low.
I think Anthony Capra put him in his place a little bit.
Maybe using the excuse that he had major heart surgery yesterday.
Whatever.
as
a terrible excuse.
As a reason to not show his face around here, and I'm not buying it.
Nope, none of us. Nobody in this studio is, that's for sure.
No way. You ready for hour number 2?
Happy days.
Or do you want to talk for 30 more seconds or so? And it's up to you.
No, why don't we just go to break?
We can hang out for a little while at hour number 1 or go right to hour 2.
Well, we're going to have to do the same thing whether it's now or later. So we might as well just do it later.
Okay, do it later. So you want to talk for a little while?
No, God, just go to break.
All right, we'll go to break. Hour number 2 coming up. That includes picks and a lot of nonsense. Stay with us.